Ever wondered how to fix haze on a Predicta front screen cover? Well, it's as simple as taking a t-shirt and rubbing. You take a regular crummy t-shirt and you rub. And then you go to the outside and you rub a little more. And check it out. Clear, hazy, clear. Insert record scratch noise here. In that last scene, things did not go well afterwards. This is a different lens, but the lens I was working on at the time, I applied glass cleaner to try and clean up the remaining dust from using a bare t-shirt to buff the haze off, and the haze came back. And buffing it with a shirt was partially effective, but didn't get it as shiny as before. So I figured there must be some kind of nicotine film on it, and tried a few other products like Gojo non-pumice hand cleaner and rubbing alcohol. The Gojo didn't really do anything, and the rubbing alcohol put deep swirl marks into the lens. At which point, I had to come up with some new ideas. What I ended up doing to that lens to get it to this level of shiny is, and this is the actual lens I just showed you, what I had to do to get it to that level of shiny was sand it with 1000 grit, 2000 grit, and 3000 grit sandpaper. I wet sanded using glass cleaner because I don't really have a convenient source of water on this floor, but I have a lot of glass cleaner. After sanding to get out fine scratches and swirl marks, although the swirl marks are actually fairly deep from the rubbing alcohol, after that I used this stuff, Meguiar's number 20. Now this is supposedly going out of production and will be replaced with number 21. Whether or not 21 will work good on Predicta screen covers or not, I cannot tell you. You will have to find out for yourself. I also figured out that if I sand with slightly heavier grits, like 600, I can get out deeper scratches that previous owners have put onto the face pieces through the years. Although some of the extra deep ones I've had to resort to 400. My process has basically been sand one direction with the heaviest grit you're going to sand with, sand the other direction with the heaviest grit you're going to sand with, and then switch to the next grit down. Always make sure to never increase the grit number by more than double. Upon switching grits, switch directions as well. Each time you finish sanding in a given direction, wipe off all of the wet sand material, hit it with some glass cleaner, get the surface good and clean, and look at the direction of the scratches, and look for any scratches in perpendicular directions. If perpendicular scratches remain, continue sanding with the same grit you're using in the same direction you were going before until the perpendicular scratches disappear. Or until they're close to disappearing and you're out of patience. Whichever comes first. Once you've gotten down to 3K sandpaper, as this one is now, put some Meguiar's on. Get yourself a microfiber towel and wipe it on. the dry part of the towel. This one I did a little bit on the side right there. Okay. That's pretty shiny. A lot better than it was before. This one had such heavy surface scuffing that it was hard to tell what was deep and what wasn't. There was so much that looked deep that I would have had to have run my fingernails over the entire surface to find the deep ones, and that would have taken forever. Typically what I do is I look on a less scratched one. I look at individual scratches in a few places and run my thumbnail over them. If I can catch my thumbnail on it, it needs to be sanded out with 600 or coarser. On this one, there was just so many scuffed areas. Finding the ones that I could catch my fingernail on would have taken me all day. So I just did the whole thing in 600 and looked at the scratch marks from the 600 sanding all in one direction, and found marks perpendicular to that and spot touched those up. Once I spot touched those marks up, I actually, on a couple of the worst ones, briefly went down to 400 to get 2 or 3 really deep ones out. Then went back up to 600 to get the 400 marks out. Did 600 perpendicular and got it all sanded out to 3K. And now polished, so there's a complete safety glass cleanup right there. So to give you an idea why I'm not filming the entire sanding process, it took me an hour and a half on one of these lenses that I actually bothered to check my time on. So with my camera only being capable of recording 8 minutes and 11 seconds maximum length per video file that it records, I would either have to continuously be hitting the record button over and over and over, making it a pain in the neck process to create a time lapse, or I could give you an hour and a half exercise video, and left and right and left and right and left and right. Super fast! But I'm not going to do that. So here's your taste of what it's like to sand one of these. So, this is the complete head shell for the first of the 2 sets. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the Predicta Tandem restoration series coming up, and the Philco Predicta Tandem umbilical cable cleaning video that you see the intro of here. Thanks for watching.